everyone. My name is the MacTac here, and welcome to a brand new video. And today is a special movie review today. And today I'm going to be reviewing Avatar: The Way of Water. Today, I had finally gotten to see the movie in official 3D. This is the first ever movie that I've seen in 3D in such a long time, ever since theaters stopped using 3D format. And I will tell you this right now. James Cameron's Avatar had it to me. I hold that movie to my heart every single year that has passed by, because this movie was a part of my childhood. I remember when my grandma took me to see that movie in theaters, and I absolutely enjoyed it. It was truly one of the most coolest movies of all time, and it looked amazing as well. The graphics and the story was absolutely interesting. So in watching that back then, I absolutely loved it. I thought it was one of the most amazing things of all time. So after hearing that a sequel was coming out, I've been highly awaiting for this sequel for a long time. And I seen this movie way before I started my YouTube channel in 2010, which is insane. I was very young in 2007, and that was when the first Avatar came out. Now, it is 2023. The new sequel, The Way of Water, is finally released to the world. For all diehard fans of James Cameron's Avatar, finally gets to experience the long-awaited sequel that has released at the end of 2022. December 2022. And I will tell you this right off the bat. James Cameron, once again, absolutely nails it at another Avatar film. He absolutely nails it. Like, it's James Cameron perfectly knows what he wants for his Avatar films. And I think just how this movie looked, visual-wise, CGI-wise, looked amazing. And obviously, we already knew what the story was about by the trailers. It was about Jake Sully and his family moving to another tribe after their home, Pandora, was attacked by the humans once again. Obviously, this is... and they introduce a new tribe that you'll figure out what they're called when you watch the movie yourself. And they're newer looking... I think the species are called Na'vi, I think. I forgot. I'll have to research that. But before this movie came out, of course, I rewatched the first movie in a long time just to be ready for the new one. Obviously, I rewatched the first one on Disney Plus. And again, I still love the first one, and I hold it to my heart on this very day. I will tell you this right now, the story is very fucking phenomenal. Once again, James Cameron knows how to tell a fucking story. It's absolutely incredible how this movie was done. And the fact that I've seen it in 3D, I'll tell you, how does it feel in 3D? It feels amazing. I'll tell you that right now. There are certain scenes where you'll see like kind of dust particles and the light shine down on a certain scene, and it looked like that I was seeing legitimate dust particles from the movie in the theater. It was absolutely incredible. Obviously, I've seen this movie in 3D at Regal Cinemas. That was the only place that had like 3D format, which again, I think they need to bring 3D format back, because obviously I don't care that 3D didn't apparently help the theater run perfectly well. People love seeing movies in 3D. That's why, to me, I think the fact that Avatar is the only 3D movie to come out last year is, to me, kind of stupid, because again, while it's cool to see Avatar being in 3D as promised by James Cameron, but still, the fact that other films can't go in 3D is absolutely dumb. But once again, original cast members of the first movie makes a return in this one. Obviously, we get some new characters introduced in the film, including the kids of Jake Sully, the kids of Jake Sully. And I will tell you this right now, I loved every minute of Avatar: The Way of Water. I loved every minute of it, from beginning, middle, and end. I loved every bit of it. And let me tell you, the composed score, the score that you'll hear in this movie is absolutely beautiful. It is beautiful. And I gotta tell you this right now, if you are a big fan of James Horner and what he gave out for the first Avatar film, I tell you this right now, the soundtrack for Avatar: The Way of Water, I think, is a perfect tribute to James Horner. 100%. I think it is a perfect tribute to James Horner. James Horner did one of the best themes in the first film of all time, and obviously you'll hear his theme play in certain parts of this new movie, and some of the new composed scores that you'll hear for this movie itself has the exact feel that James Horner's music kind of pretty much has. So I tell you this right now, if you loved the first Avatar by James Cameron, you're going to love Avatar: The Way of Water. It is... I'm so glad to have finally experienced the sequel that I've long waited for. This... And I'll tell you this right now. There's certain scenes... I tell you this, the story itself, there's a lot of stakes in it. There's a lot of high stakes in this story that will kind of drive you at the edge of your seat at some points. In the fighting sequences, oh my god, man. It's so awesome. And there are some scenes that will just make you break down emotionally. I tell you this with no lie whatsoever. There's going to be scenes where you cry, or possibly even tear up, because there's been a lot of scenes where I've teared up in this movie. I've teared up in a lot of scenes in this movie, and I think that this movie was way more powerful than the first Avatar. And that's not saying anything bad about the first James Cameron Avatar at all. I'm just saying that there's a lot more powerful stuff in this sequel that will make you kind of emotional and kind of tear up in a way. But Avatar: The Way of Water, I think, is the first ever Avatar film that I've experienced in full 3D, and I absolutely loved it. It was amazing, and it reminded me of how much I loved watching movies in 3D in the theaters. They need to bring 3D back in every theater. For fuck's sakes, bring every movie theater back to selling 3D movie tickets. Please, for God's sakes, bring 3D back. People loves seeing 3D. But obviously, I'm sure the 3D stopped helping because apparently COVID, again, pandemic started. But I could be wrong. I could be wrong 100%, that being the reason why they stopped 3D. That could be absolutely 100% wrong for me to say that. Again, Avatar: The Way of Water, I highly recommend it. It is totally, if you're a diehard fan of the first movie, then you'll love this one 100%. Obviously, I do gotta say, as much as I love the first one, I absolutely love this one a lot more than the first. Absolutely 100%. This had such an emotional, powerful story to it that I never thought that this movie would have had. And obviously, again, this is James Cameron knowing what he wants to do with his Avatar movie again. Like, he knows how to do movies of Avatar and tells the greatest journeys of Pandora. It's awesome. Once again, James Cameron understands how to make a movie, and this is another legacy sequel, truthfully done right, and is free from the unoriginal woke movies side of storytelling. But Avatar 2 is, once again, like I'll say, is one of the greatest movies of all time. And I think the fact that I heard that Avatar: The Way of Water passed $1.5 billion global in the box office, that is absolutely phenomenal. That supposedly beat Top Gun Maverick, another favorite movie movie of mine. I can barely talk. But this movie was one of my most favorite sequels ever done, aside from Top Gun Maverick. Avatar: The Way of Water, I highly recommend it. If you're a fan of the first James Cameron Avatar film, then you're gonna love this one abso-freaking-lutely. It's one of the best movies I've seen, and if you want to experience it in 3D, go see it in Regal Cinemas. Thank you guys so much for watching, and if you like this video, don't forget to leave a like, comment, subscribe down below for more videos in the future of this channel. Thank you guys so much for watching, and as always, I will see you guys in my next movie review. And let me know in the comment section below, what did you think about Avatar 2: The Way of Water, directed by James Cameron? The Mac Attack, signing out.